Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am the Sam, the beans in the background, so you may hear him in a minute, and today is video number 1 of a month of roofing tutorial videos, because I really enjoy roofing and I want you to learn how to enjoy it too. Today though, being the first of the month, we are just going to start with the absolute basics of how to use the roofing tool, so if you are brand new to building, this is going to be a great video to watch. If at any point you find yourself saying, oh, that was helpful, please let me know by clicking the like button and subscribing for more videos coming at you the rest of the month. You can access all of these roofing options by clicking here on the roofs option. We will also be talking about roof trims and roof patterns a little bit, but for the most part we're going to be dealing with these first shapes here. I'm going to be doing a separate video on the diagonal roofs tomorrow, so come back for those because I think there are a few extra troubleshooting tips that will be helpful and I just don't want to cram too much into one video. We're going to start out with the gabled roof. This is probably the most classic roof shape. If you've ever drawn a house, built a house, this is probably the one roof that you're going to use the most often. Starting from the top, we have this 4-way arrow. This is how you can move your roof around the lot, around your build. These arrows you can use to rotate the roof side to side. You can also use the comma and period key on your keyboard, or for better memory, it kind of looks like little arrows on top with the less than and greater than signs rotating your roof. Here is the copy button. You can use this to copy your roof, so if you have multiple pieces of roof that are the same size, this makes it really easy to copy and place. You can also hold shift while you're placing to place multiple pieces of roof that are the exact same without having to keep clicking copy. And hit escape to exit out of that. Moving on to the controls on the roof itself. These are going to be the same for every piece of roof. These vary slightly, but really not very much. So we'll go mostly in depth with the gable, and then I'll point out any differences with the rest of the roof types. This arrow up top you're going to use to adjust the pitch of your roof. This does have a limit to how high it can go and how low it can go. If you want a very, very specific height, you can hold Alt while you are adjusting this, and it will give you a much more gentle control on the slope of that roof. As you can see here, I'm holding Alt, it's moving very gradually. And if you do not hold Alt, you can see that, here I'll zoom in a little closer for you. If you don't hold Alt, you can see that it sort of bumps along. And again, Alt, you don't see those bumps. The other arrows on the other sides of the roof are just used to resize. As you can see, pull it out, pull it back. These align to the grid, so there's no exact movement there. These smaller arrows are used to adjust the eaves. Again, you can't hold Alt to adjust these exactly, but you can hold Shift to only adjust one side at a time. This also works with the sides here. These balls on the roof can be used to adjust the curves. As you can see, you can drag up and down. If you want a little bit more control over the curve of your roof, press Shift and C, and you'll see that will give you multiple little balls hovering, and then you can use these to get more exact shaping on your roof. Moving on to the hipped roof, you can see this places by default with no eaves. You can fix that by just dragging down here. Now, since all of the eaves are connected on the corners, you cannot adjust any one side more or less than the others, but holding Alt to adjust the pitch more gradually still works, and you can still hit Shift C to adjust the curve more exactly. Other than that, everything else is still the same. Next up, we have the half gable roof. All the same rules apply. Shift C for extra curving controls, Alt to adjust the pitch of the roof more gradually, and you can still hold Shift to adjust different eaves differently. This here is the half-hipped roof. Again, it default places with no eaves, so to fix that, drag out on these arrows. Next up, we have the hexagon, and you could probably already see the main issue with this roof shape, which is we can align a wall here, and we can align a wall here, but we can't actually place walls at these angles. If you are going to use this roof, it's most likely going to be used to conjoin a diagonal and a, non-diagonal wall to cover a gap, or if you extend it like this, you can still get some pretty fun roof shapes out of it, just depends on your style. You can also place it elsewhere on the build to create a gazebo or something like that. Other than all that nonsense, all the other controls still work the same. You can still get extra curves, still adjust the eaves, albeit all together, and still hold Alt to get a more... Okay, obviously I don't use a hexagon a lot. Apparently, unless this is a bug that they're going to fix, you cannot get a more exact pitch on the hexagon roof. I am very disappointed. Moving on to the octagon. Now for this roof, you can actually match all of these angles. There is even an octagonal room, which would fit this roof perfectly. Again, places by default with no eaves, which you can pull out here. Other than that, all the other controls are the same. And this one you can use Alt to adjust the pitch more exactly. We also have a pentagon roof. I'm really not sure why. This angle here lines up with a, I don't know, normal straight wall. And this one can do okay if you are placing a diagonal build. Again, this is probably mostly going to be used for gazebos, more artistic shapes. And our last roof of the day is the circular roof. Now you'd think that this one would have the same issues as the other roofs, which are, it doesn't really line up with wall angles, but because it's round, we don't really have to worry about angles, because there just are none. You can still use Alt to adjust this one. Now that we've gone through all of these basic roof types, remember we're doing diagonals tomorrow, let's quickly touch on roof trims and then also the roof patterns. The roof trims come in all sorts of different colors that may or may not match other swatches on your build, thanks Sims. You can see the angled roof trim here. We also have the beveled roof trim, square roof trim, my personal favorite, stepped roof trim, angled out roof trim, chamfer roof trim, beveled out roof trim, and some special roof trims that come with other packs. We have the fine thatch, the thick thatch, and the thatched round roof trim from Island Living, and Cottage Living, respectively. These roof trims are designed to match up with specific roof textures to give that cottage thatched roof feel. Spoiler alert, we will be going over how to actually build a full-on cottage roof later on in this month, so if that's something you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bell, blah blah blah. For most builds though, you're probably going to be sticking with more of a steel roof, a shingled roof, or possibly even a glass roof. We have many different glass options, as you can see here. When placing a glass roof, my number one bit of advice is to actually remove the eaves. It looks a little bit interesting from the front, but then when you realize the roof is glass, it makes a lot more sense, because having a glass roof overhanging like this just feels like a structural liability. So as just a quick recap, move the roof, rotate the roof either direction, or use the less than and greater than keys on your keyboard, as you can see on screen here. This is to copy, hold shift to place multiple times, press escape to escape. This arrow right here adjusts the pitch of your roof, and you can get a more exact pitch by holding the Alt key. These arrows are used to resize your roof. These smaller ones are used for the eaves, which can be adjusted simultaneously, or by holding shift you can adjust one at a time. These little balls on the roof can be used to adjust the curve, and you can press Shift C to get more curving controls on your roof. And that's it for our video today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you learned a few things. If you did, don't forget to like the video. Come back tomorrow for some more specific diagonal roofing tips. Check out the playlist on the top card to see more quick tutorials like this one, and check out the playlist on the bottom for all of my roofing specific tutorials. Hope you guys had a great day and enjoy the weekend. See you tomorrow.